What do we got?
We got a little care package from our dear friend Raj Sabharwal of Glass Revolution Imports. He sent us a couple of samples of Amrut Spectrum.
Amrut Spectrum 004.
004.
004.
License to thrill?
If you say so, sure. Amrut presents to you an intricate single malt that boasts a mosaic of tastes and flavors, lent by a variety of oak. Initially matured in ex-bourbon barrel, the single malt is transferred to a custom-built, unique barrel that is constructed out of not one, but 4 varieties of oak. American oak with 3 levels of charring, French oak with light toasting, Ex-Oloroso Sherry Staves, and ex-PX Sherry Staves.
Wow.
So you're going to get the traditional fresh oak, you're getting French oak, then you're getting 2 different kinds of sherry. The result is a complex single malt that will both engross and delight you in equal measure. A very limited release of only 6,000 bottles. This presentation is sure to please the most fastidious connoisseur.
Are you a fastidious connoisseur?
Well, obviously. I mean, clearly, we're connoisseurs.
By the way, you know what the translation is for fastidious connoisseur? Pain in the ass.
So then I would be fastidious.
Exactly. You
Maybe
are.
not the connoisseur, but certainly fastidious.
Or as I like to say, PETA.
Pita.
PETA.
Pain in the ass.
PETA. Sir?
Cheers.
Let's go in.
Boy, that's dark.
It is very dark. It has like an Amaro look to it. Like if I took out a bottle of Averna or a bottle of like Chinar, it has this kind of look. It's like a burnt sienna.
And for as dark as it is, I was expecting to get a lot of like the deep rich fruits.
Yeah, what's
on the
the
nose? 50%.
Okay.
And I'm not really getting the fruits.
It's just like dark, deep sugars, you know?
Yeah, that's I think it's like the baking sugars where you're getting like the caramelized sugar more than any other note.
And I'm getting the spices that go with it, you know? Like there's some clove maybe, some allspice, some ginger. And
like really no vanilla, no peppers. While it's 50%, it's not terribly medicinal or vapory on the nose.
No, shockingly.
And when you get something that's this dark, you expect it to be like, armchair tobacco, that kind of stuff. I'm smelling leather. I'm not really not getting any of that either.
Well, now that you say tobacco, maybe a little bit of pipe.
Yeah.
Little pipe tobacco, but not like a cigar. Like it's a little sweet.
But this is it's a deep, rich color.
Yeah. Now I'm curious to taste it. I'm going in. Ooh. That's got some oiliness to it.
And a little bit of a kick.
Oh, that's got some texture. It's not like, what do you call it? Scorched earth hot. But it's got a little bit of tingle.
There is some tingle involved. All in the mid to the back of the palate, not so much in the esophagus. In the finish. It's a nice finish, but the mouthfeel itself is sweet and then very spicy.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different from a lot of things. This has a lot going on. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go.
There's some oomph. That's nice. That is nice.
That's got a nice mouthfeel to it.
That is a horse of a different color.
That's got a little bit of oiliness. It's like middle to the front.
Yeah.
And I got a little bit like on my teeth and gums, and it's like lingering. It's got some thickness to it.
And the sugars are up front, and then you get the peppers and the heat.
Ooh.
It's not unbalanced.
No.
It just hits your mouth in different spots.
Right. But for me, it's all up front. It's all like there, but it's got some like a nice. I'm not going to say round.
Is it green?
But it's rounded.
Well-rounded flavor. Well balanced.
That's interesting.
Sure.
But again, going back to like what I was saying about like the Amara, I don't get that, but I get almost like a vermouthy kind of quality to it. Like maybe like that wormwood or whatever that is. All those like kind of bitters, and it's not bitter, but I mean those kind of like complexity.
Sure. Like
the
cocktail
herbs.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's nice. That's
herbaceous.
different.
Herbaceous.
It's very different. It's very unique.
Herbaceous. And you get a little bit, like maybe a little hint of some charring. A little bit of oak, a little bit of like that burnt wood as opposed to peat. A little bit of that.
It's deep, and it's got a really nice lingering like aftertaste. That's really good. I like that.
It
tastes
very nice. Like an older whiskey. Obviously, it's not.
I don't know how old it is.
Well, I don't think they can age stuff very long there because the angel share and the heat. But it certainly is a well-balanced, well-rounded flavor. And the thing I find most interesting is the way they jury the barrels, that they're able to go and say, well, it's not just all oak, not American oak, not French oak. We're going to put it all together, cut everything to staves, and make barrels out of it.
Right.
Sure, why not? See what happens.
Why not? Go crazy.
Toast them all, roll them all together, and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I think it imparts enough flavor from all the different woods to come up with something somewhat unique. I don't think I've had something like this before.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Interesting.
It's definitely a B plus for me.
Yep. No,
I'd say this would be like an 88 for me.
Yeah.
I think you might like it a little more.
I might get a little more because just
more.
I like the uniqueness of it. You know, I don't think it's something that it's not going to be a go-to, but it's a nice diversion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really good.
It's a really nice whiskey.
It's really interesting. It's different. I like what Amrut's doing. We've tried a lot of interesting stuff from them. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you can sit on your hands and make whiskey the same way everybody's made whiskey for 200 years, or you can sit back and go, hey, why do it that way? Let's try something else. Certainly the staving is something that I think you see from some of the bourbon manufacturers here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that this is rolling into them, where they're not just changing the caskings, but they're actually changing the barrel itself to say, let's roll a bunch of different staves in and see what happens.
Right. I mean, we've tried a bunch of different ones. Like way back, we tried like the peated and the regular and, the cast strength.
Yep.
And they were all really interesting. I think if I had to pick a favorite, I would probably go with the Fusion.
Yeah.
The Fusion's just really good. That's just a really good, solid whiskey. That would be one, if you're going to have a staple, that's one I would keep.
Yeah.
But this is a really nice one-off. And we had the Greedy Angels too, I think.
Yep.
Tasting with Raj.
Yep.
And we tried a couple others. They just do a really nice job. They really do.
And the other thing, which is, again, because of the size of the distillery and the fact that they're, it's so hot there. This 6,000 barrels, they might not ever have these again. Mm-hmm. And then it becomes an issue of, well, this was really good, but if you didn't get it and stockpile it, you're never going to get it again.
I mean, I assume this is batch 4?
Where a lot of it, but this batch 4, what they did with this batch, who knows what the next batch is going to have. Maybe they had a 5th wood, who knows? Mm-hmm. It might not be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But, I love the experimentation. I love what they're trying to do with stuff. They're not just, let's make whiskey for the sake of whiskey. Let's try something different.
Right.
And I think this really works. It's a really nice whiskey.
It is.
I like it a lot.
So do I. So, cheers, sir. Cheers to you. Cheers to our dear friends at Glass Revolution Imports, our friend Raj. And cheers to Amrut.
Yeah.
They're doing great stuff. And, I mean, if you haven't tried them, we really think you should. When the other stuff gets unavailable, or try something different.
Absolutely.
Expand your horizons.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers, folks.